Welcome to the VCU-ACE Autism 101 Parenting Series. Our next Autism 101 parenting tip is to use reinforcement. Reinforcement is a type of consequence that can influence a child's behavior and help them learn new skills. Anytime we use reinforcement with a child, we are able to strengthen or reinforce positive behaviors. Using reinforcement can also encourage and motivate a child to keep working or keep trying as they are learning. Motivation is a key part of supporting children with ASD, so it's important to use reinforcement throughout the day to help increase motivation and keep a child engaged. So what types of reinforcement can help children with ASD? There are lots of ways to reinforce, but the first thing to consider is what motivates the child. What does the child love to do? What kinds of food does the child like to eat? What makes this child happy? We all have things that make us happy and that we find rewarding. The child with ASD is no different. Reinforcers that children can enjoy range from a simple good job to a favorite snack to watching a movie or even playing with an iPad. It all depends on what your child finds motivating. Let's look at a few examples of how other families have used reinforcement with their children. Shopping and running errands can be difficult for families raising a child with autism. One mother sometimes has difficulty with her child while shopping at Target together. He doesn't want to walk next to his mom and sometimes tries to run ahead or grab things off of the shelf. The mom started using an if-then visual support that helped her son understand that if he held onto the cart while they walked through the store and did not grab anything, then they would stop at Starbucks and get his favorite drink. Because this drink is highly motivating to the boy, mother and son are able to get all of their errands done quickly and without incident. Bath time is often difficult for many children with ASD, and there can be a lot of tears. One family has learned that their son, who does not like bath time, is highly motivated by playing doctor. The family recognized this as a high-currency activity and were able to use this as a motivator to get through bedtime routines. This family shows their child a visual support that says first, bath time, and then we'll play doctor. Because this child is so motivated by playing doctor, they are now able to get through bath time with minimal tears. Waiting is difficult for all children, but it can be especially difficult for children with ASD. One family is raising a son with autism who also has significant medical needs and has lots of doctor appointments. This often means many hours of waiting at the doctor office. Because this family knows how hard waiting is, they prepare their child ahead of time with a schedule. They also show him a social story about waiting. Finally, the family knows the child loves back scratches and hugs, so they use these things throughout their time in the waiting room. The mother and father take turns saying, "You're doing a great job waiting. You're sitting so well. Good job, buddy," and giving hugs or back scratches as long as he sits and waits quietly until they see the doctor. Another family is raising a child with ASD who also has extreme anxiety. This child is learning how to manage his anxiety with the help of therapy. When the child uses the tools he is learning from his therapist about how to stay calm and in control, the parents will praise him by saying, "Wow, you really used your self-talk to work through that. It's awesome you remembered what to do when you were struggling." Now that you know more about how families use reinforcement, there's one last piece of advice. Reinforcement is a powerful tool, but can also be misunderstood. Many people think reinforcement looks a lot like bribing. Bribing is something that happens in the moment, though, and often happens at the wrong time. For example, if you're standing in the checkout lane and saying, "I'll buy you some candy if you'll be quiet," that's bribery. The difference between bribery and reinforcement comes down to when and how it is used. Reinforcement is planned ahead of time by understanding what motivates the individual with ASD. Also, the expectation is that the individual will first do something that is challenging, and when they are done, they will get something they enjoy. With bribery, the child is engaging in something they shouldn't, and we are offering something very motivating to make them stop. Do you see how these things are different? So what are you waiting for? Make a list of all the things your child loves and finds motivating, and start using them to help your child succeed today.